When you first get started in direct sales or network marketing, the most natural place to start is by reaching out to your warm market. Your greatest returns will come from connecting with people who already know, like, and trust you. But what happens when you run out of people in your warm market? Do you keep calling the same prospects over and over to the point of harassment? Do you call your extended warm market? The people who know you by name, but it's really awkward for you to call them. Do you try to sell to every stranger you meet on the street? Do you Facebook spam people? Attend a bunch of networking events, buy a booth at a trade show, or hand out endless numbers of samples? Well, the short answer is no. You don't have to do any of those things unless you want to. How do I know? Well, back in 2010, I was a burnt-out extrovert. I was tired of chasing prospects, and I decided to start prospecting in a new way. Long story short, within 5 months, I hit the top of the comp plan, and soon after started making a multiple six-figure income. Looking back, I realized that the way I was prospecting wasn't just different than what I did in the past, it was 180 degrees opposite. That's when I realized that there were actually 4 dramatically different quadrants called the recruiting quadrants. Let me break them down for you. The first line of the recruiting quadrant is the value axis, or the value meter. Are you adding value to your prospects? And are you doing it without any expectation or agenda? Or are you just focusing on making a sale and collecting a credit card number? You see, the more value that you add in advance of the sale, the more trust and authority you'll build with people. You literally start to attract your perfect prospect. So whether you know it or not, you are either taking the chasing positioning or the trusted authority positioning. Either you're chasing prospects or prospects are chasing you. The second line is called the leverage axis, or the leverage meter. Are you talking to prospects one at a time? Or are you prospecting groups of people all at once? If you don't find a way to prospect in bunches, it's going to feel like you are always busy, always on. Lots of effort, always prospecting, and not many results, and zero leverage. In the bottom right, we have what I call the grind. This is where you're taking the chasing positioning and you're prospecting people one at a time. Bottom left is called the hustler, still chasing prospects, but at least you're prospecting people in bunches. Top right is called the busy professional. This is where you're finally taking that trusted authority positioning. However, it's back to the one at a time approach. And the top left is called the star quadrant. This is where you've got trusted authority status and where you are recruiting prospects in bunches. So let me give you a couple examples of each quadrant. In the grind, we've got things like Facebook messaging strangers, or buying leads, or the 5-foot rule, where you're trying to recruit the person behind you at the grocery store or your Uber driver, okay? And of all the different recruiting methods out there, all the different trainings, it's really just hundreds of different ways to do the same thing. Chase prospects one at a time. The next quadrant is the hustler. We've got things like having a trade show booth. Maybe you're spamming Facebook groups rather than Facebook individuals. Maybe you're going to networking events and you're getting in front of groups that way. The bottom line is you're still taking that chasing positioning, but now you're getting some leverage. You're getting in front of groups. Hustlers will often get in front of more prospects in one weekend than most network marketers get in front of in an entire year. The downside, though, is that you're still chasing, which means low closing rate, lots of follow-up, and usually not a lot of fun. In the busy pro section, we've got things like a great referral, right? So imagine you get a text message that says, hey, Billy told me that you helped him lose 20 pounds. Can you help me? Or Sally told me that you helped her save money on her last vacation. Can you do the same for me and hook me up? You're not chasing them, they're chasing you. Or maybe you've handed out some samples and now somebody's coming back to you because the sample worked and they're seeking you out. They're looking for you. Probably the best example of the busy professional quadrant would be a 3-way call. So if you're the upline, you've had some success, and let's say that you get on a 3-way call and your distributor and your downline, they edify you properly, they build you up, and the prospect is really excited to meet you, right? You're going to have that authority status. You're going to have a way higher closing rate. You're going to get treated with the respect that you deserve, and it's going to be a lot more fun. The downside is it's back to one at a time. In fact, on a 3-way call, it's actually negative leverage, right? It's 2 business owners for every 1 prospect. So it feels great, but it can take a lot of time. The last one is the star quadrant. This is really the gold standard of prospecting. This would be like if you became a best-selling author, right? Now you're getting in front of groups of people all at once, and you've got that authority status. As soon as you become a bestseller, you instantly become an authority. If you do Facebook ads correctly, you can get in front of groups of people all at once, and you can add a lot of value and have people seeking you out. If you're speaking from stage, right? Same thing. You're talking to groups of people all at once, and you are the authority. You are the leader at the front of the room. Now, let me be clear, all right? None of these quadrants are wrong, and any prospecting method is better than doing nothing, right? They all beat sitting at home on the couch. However, if you look at the most successful network marketers on the planet, what do they all have in common? The star quadrant. Writing books, speaking from stage, using Facebook ads and other marketing techniques, it's just a smarter way to build. And it's not like they're trying to hide something from you. Up until now, it has been nearly impossible to operate in the star quadrant unless you had a huge marketing budget, which meant that the star quadrant was not duplicatable. But as you'll soon find out, some of the recent advancement means that the star quadrant is now actually within your reach. So if you're a network marketer who likes the idea of building solid relationships while adding value to your prospects' lives, and you like the idea of saving time by getting leverage and prospecting in bunches, you are going to absolutely love the star quadrant. Now, I've put together a free training for you about what I believe is the absolute easiest platform on the planet to use to break into the star quadrant. It's a social media platform called meetup.com, and if used correctly, you can attract your perfect prospect, add value, position yourself as an authority, and prospect in bunches. Now, somewhere around this video, there's going to be a button or a link that will allow you to register for the training. Best of all, I'm providing the training free of charge, and you don't need to write a book or spend thousands of dollars a month in advertising costs. In fact, everything I'm going to teach you can be done in just 2 hours a week with as little as a $20 a month budget. On top of that, using Meetup is actually fun. That's why it's my absolute favorite platform for network marketers and why I call it the gateway to the star quadrant. So if you want to save time, command respect, hit the next rank in your company, and get paid what you're worth, go ahead and register for the Meetup training. Again, the registration link should be somewhere around this video, and take a minute right now while it's fresh in your mind and go ahead and get registered. I really hope you found this video to be insightful, and I look forward to seeing you on the training. And remember, stop chasing, start attracting, change quadrants. I'll see you on the webinar.